Welcome into Game Changers, where it turns out I was the only one who got the memo this week.
Mike's all dressed up.
We were supposed to dress up. It's week one. These two came as casual as ever.
There you go.
No email.
Bo looks like he came from the
text.
Keys.
You didn't send me anything.
Did you come from the hockey rink?
You look fantastic for week one.
I
love it.
Yes. I'm excited. Week one starts. The Chiefs. And who are the Chiefs playing this week?
The Lions.
The Lions.
The Thursday night.
Listen, I'm so focused on the Dolphins and the Chargers. So let's start there. I want predictions. I want to know who's going to can the Dolphins go out west and get some redemption, Bo, for last year?
Yes, and I think they will. I think this football team is fired up. I'm a little concerned with Teron Armstead, whether he's going to be able to play on Sunday. But I think going forward, look, that Charger team, they got a lot of really good players. Their coach ain't so good, and they don't play very well together.
Ooh, that's a
so
shot
I think
at the
there's
coach.
a pretty good opportunity for the Dolphins, not only to go 1-0 to start the season, but to go up to New England and beat their butts and be 2-0 in the first 2 weeks.
Well, if they do that, they're going 3-0 because the Broncos stink. So.
Yeah, the Broncos are
If they go to 2-0, we're going 3-0.
I'm talking about road.
Sorry.
I'm talking about road warriors here, bro.
Let's go back for a second to the Chargers head coach. You don't like going on it for fourth down from everywhere on the field?
No,
never going to live that down.
Anyway.
No, I mean,
who they lose to in the playoffs?
Jags.
Woo!
Yeah, they come back.
Oh, that's hard on your resume, isn't it?
Third biggest blown lead in playoff history.
Yeah.
How does that stuff just?
So you wanted 27 points, third biggest. So LA 19.
Right.
You want my prediction?
Okay.
Dolphins 32. Come on,
Close.
Goldie.
Miami 29.
Nice.
10-point win.
Double-digit win.
So here's what I like about it. They got a little chip on their shoulder.
Yes.
Tua can say whatever he wants. He's become a real leader, more of a leader this preseason. This game matters to him. These two guys, Tua Tagovailoa and Justin Herbert, will be forever linked, whether they like it or not. The same way Marino and Elway and all those guys are forever linked. They're 1-1 against each other. Tua's got the best two receiving core coming into this game, and I think with Vic Fangio, and maybe more importantly, Ronaldo Hill on the defensive staff, who was the Chargers defensive coordinator last year, Tua said they've had some conversations. And I really think what Vic has in that front seven and the Chargers breaking in a couple of new guards, I think Vic Fangio is going to be able to move Phillips and Wilkins and all these guys around to control Justin Herbert enough. Yeah. And I think the Dolphins offense is going to have a big day on Sunday.
They went out to West Coast last year. They got beat up by the 49ers. They got beat up by this Charger team. And if that's not sticking to the back of their craw, then this isn't the team that I think it is. I think they're going to be upset with how they played last year. They're going to come out and they're going to make amends.
Yeah, that was the exact point I was going to make.
That's why I got in first.
Yeah, I know. You snuck it in there. True pro. True pro. Don't let the shirt distract you. Listen, the Dolphins last year in this game, and they were still in it, although the Chargers did look like a better team for most of it. They'd been on the road for 10 days in California. Now they had basically 2 weeks, a whole summer
but you know
to prepare for this game.
That was the beginning of the downfall of this football team. Right in there, and then you go 0 for December, and then there it is. Everything goes up in smoke. So that's where the fire started smoldering when they're on the West Coast. They need to put it out this year.
And the other factor in this, I also think, is Vic Fangio. Brandon Staley's the head coach of the Chargers. He's a disciple of Vic Fangio. He worked for him. So I just think the Dolphins have a lot of knowledge about this. And, Mike, you and I talked about this out at camp also. The fact that Mike McDaniel's had all this time to figure this out and dissect that game film from last year, I just think that this team is graduated from last year hoping to be a playoff team to now expecting to be a playoff team, and this is a business trip out to California.
The Chargers have to, they have to think what Vic Fangio is going to do. They're going to have to go see the Broncos. They're going to have to see the other teams that he coached, because there's no film on. He didn't show them anything during the preseason, so he's going to unload on them, and I think if you can get them on their heels early, I think that's a great opportunity.
Before we move on, I want to ask you both this question. Is Staley, the Chargers head coach, if they lose this game, considering the way last year ended, is all of a sudden he on the hot seat?
I think so, no doubt. I think losing the way they did in the playoffs against Jacksonville certainly put them on the hot seat. If they start the season at home and lose, I think it heats up very quickly.
I think you guys are way off. I don't think there's any chance after week one.
No, I'm not talking about getting rid of them.
No way.
It's a hot seat.
No way.
Seats can get warm. They
That's
can
all right.
cool off.
Well, he's already got a warm seat
That's what
after
I'm
the
saying. That's what
playoff.
I'm
But this
saying.
game
Right.
doesn't. I don't think this game matters much. That's it. Hey, the Dolphins are a
It
good
doesn't
team and a
matter.
playoff
It's
team.
The last 2 times you see him, if it
Week
ends up
one.
in an L,
Nah. Week 1.
okay, we'll see.
It's
guys
opening
are
week.
harsh.
I want to go out there and throw an elbow.
I'm going to put the 2 of you on the hot seat here on Game Changer. You're going to put a coach on the hot seat after 1 week.
Take it easy. Take
on,
it easy.
fellas.
Please don't compromise.
I'm not a big Brandon
Please don't
Staley fan.
compromise
I really don't care either way if he's on the hot seat. No big deal to me.
More to come on Game Changers. Speaking of hot, the Miami Marlins doing some big things this week. Their hunt for September and October continues. We're going to talk about
Snowing
that
World
next.
Series.
Welcome back to Game Changers. You know, last week I was making the joke that the Marlins should stay about 2 games out of the wild card spot just to be relevant and interesting all the way down the stretch. But here they are beating up on the Dodgers a couple games this week. They're foot in, foot out. You know, they'll do this all the way down the stretch. But guys, Sandy Alcantara's dinged up. Their home run leader, Jorge Soler, dinged up. But they're still putting together some of these wins. Goldie, I'll start with you. Without those 2 guys, did their playoff chances take a big hit, or can they hang on?
Well, definitely take a hit, no question. But exclusive. I spoke to Skip Schumacher. He was watching Game Changers on the CBS Miami stream in the lock, and he heard you say that.
Did he really?
And they haven't lost a game since. Yeah, I mean, they heard you say no. You know, it takes a hit, obviously.
I'm sweating right
But
now.
you could say whatever you like. But, you know, look, Sandy was pitching really well. Maybe we all owe a little apology.
Yeah.
Remember early in the year, especially myself, I'm guilty. Why are you taking him out after 7? Maybe that's why. Now he's banged up. I'm not sure if it's a correlation.
Yeah.
But the mojo they have going, and we've talked about this, I feel like, all summer, these other teams, the Reds, the Diamondbacks, these aren't great teams.
No.
So, yeah, so does it take a hit, Mike? Sure it takes a hit. Those are 2 quality players. But what Bell and Berger have done of late, I mean, Berger's starting to hit some home runs now, and beating quality team like the Dodgers, even getting a couple of wins, I think the confidence is there. And, yeah, I think they're going to be right there down the stretch.
You know, I like what they've done. They were 10 games above, 14 games above, and then they got down to, and then look, they could have just kept sinking deeper and deeper. Instead, they puffed up a little bit, got their big boy panties on, and went out there and started playing good baseball. And now they're up to right now. They're in the playoffs. If it were to be today, and so I think if this team can continue on, they've got confidence in themselves now. Guys are making plays. If you can get to the postseason, I think that would be a giant boost for the organization and for the fans to kind of start coming back to this. They've already started coming back from what they've seen. They just need to continue to grow.
How about the job they did at the trade deadline? I know Robertson ends up,
what a disaster.
That's tough. But if you look at Josh Bell and Jake Berger, 2 guys that are quite literally keeping this afloat, weren't here a few weeks ago.
And the amazing thing, Mike, is when they were on their other teams, on the White Sox and the Guardians, these guys were hitting like 230.
I know.
So we knew, they brought in some pop.
Right.
They needed some pop, some home runs, some extra base hits. But we didn't know these guys, especially Bell, were going to have the average they've had. So, hey, the old song, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And no one thought Robertson would be as bad as he's been. I mean, that's really.
Mets fans did.
Well, he wasn't that bad, though. I mean, he can't even pitch in the majors.
No.
Who would have thought that, right?
He is struggling. But listen, if Berger keeps on this track, he's going to end up passing Soler for the team lead in home runs. I know most of them weren't here, but hey, he's producing at the plate, and that's what they're going to need. They're going to need all the offense.
And let's give Jazz a little credit, man.
Yes.
This guy. Say what they want.
Instant energy.
I know he didn't hustle the first base in a game last week. They had even pointed out on the broadcast. You know what? He brings some juice.
Yep.
Is he perfect? No. Do all the teammates love him? Probably not. Does he hustle 100 miles an hour every time? Doesn't seem like it, but he produces, man, and he brings a little life and a little energy to this team.
That's the thing about the team. They're getting some personality now. You've got guys like Chisholm that you can see that do stuff, and just that whole team it seems like we've got a baseball team now, not a minor league organization.
Well, yeah, the guys now. There's personalities that you can get on board with that have been here for a little while.
What do you think? They're going to make it or not?
I think they're going to make it.
Ooh,
I really do think they're going to make it. I think they're going to find the offensive. Jazz has to stay healthy, though. All right, still to come on Game Changers, we're talking Inter Miami. Can they continue their success without Lionel Messi? Plus, that guest list for that LAFC match, we got to dive into that thing and see who these guys would want to watch a soccer game with. Welcome back to Game Changers. It's time to
I'm working over here.
Yeah, you're working over there.
Yeah, you're real busy.
About time you work for that paycheck. Time to talk.
Oh, I get paid? I get paid for this?
I don't know, actually. But thanks for being here.
He's interning.
Yeah, he's interning.
Unpaid.
The biggest intern we've got.
The biggest intern.
Listen, Inter Miami, they're going to have to stay afloat without Messi, but I wanted to get to something fun before we get to the soccer. Last week they go out to LAFC, a place that they lost their inaugural game at 1-0. They come out here and they not only get a win, but they did it in front of a lot of celebrities. It was fun to see. There was a huge celebrity list. So my question to you guys is, who would you want to watch a soccer match with from that list? Bo, I'll start with you since you seem so eager to be here at work.
Well, so my first choice was Tyga.
You don't even know who Tyga is.
No, I don't, but I just like the name. So since I didn't know Tyga, I scratched it off and I went Magic Johnson.
Oh, Magic.
I went to Michigan, went back to Michigan State days and go to Magic Johnson. How about that?
Never a bad thing.
No, never a bad thing.
Sitting next to Magic.
Maybe he'll give me some tickets to his movie theater so I can
that's
go.
what he's looking for.
Yeah,
Freebies.
that's all I'm looking for.
All right, Goldie. So he's going. Have you been watching? What's that show on HBO?
Hard Knocks?
On Max. Oh, yeah. Winning Time. The Lakers down. Yeah. A lot on Pat, right? Very fascinating. I don't know how much of it's true, but.
I was just wondering if that's where Bo's mind went.
Right.
All right, what about you, Goldie?
Well, first of all, I got a problem with the list because they put it out like all these celebrities. Half of them own a piece of the team.
Yeah.
Magic owns a piece of the team. Will Ferrell owns a piece of the team.
Yep.
So it's not like all these celebrities came out to watch. They own part of the LA team.
Yeah.
That said, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to sports. That's it right there.
Caleb Williams.
Because Caleb Williams says when he comes out of USC, he wants to play for the Miami Dolphins. Now, I know we got Tua. Tua is here. Tua is here next year, signed.
Thanks for starting the
Why do you start controversy?
When a guy
it's
that
opening day, and you're going to start controversy?
No, just want to watch the game with him. He has to want to watch the game.
Yeah, but you say you want him to come to the Dolphins.
Well,
do you want to be an Arizona Cardinal, or are you going to sit another year in college?
Yeah, I'd rather stay and go to Minnesota or Detroit. I'm just saying that it's intriguing to me that the Heisman Trophy winner, who, by the way, may be the favorite to win it again unless Deion Sanders' son continues to do what he's doing. He was at the game. I'd rather sit right there.
You want to sit with Prince Henry?
Harry.
Prince Harry, all the others. No, I want to sit with Caleb Williams and find out, might be the quarterback.
Is that Tyga?
Way down the road.
Honestly, I don't know. If Tyga came up and hit me in the face, I wouldn't know who that was.
There's Jason Sudeikis right there.
Sudeikis.
I'd like to sit with him. He's funny.
He's a good guy.
I would say Sudeikis. I'd also say Prince Harry because I got some questions about the whole monarchy and everything. I want to know some of the inside
So you think if you sat next to him, he'd be giving you the stories during this game?
That's the crown.
No shot, buddy.
You think that's 100% accurate?
I mean, you gonna get the news story from him? Who are you, Lauren Pastrana? That's not happening for you, Cunha.
I'm gonna tell Lauren you brought her up. All
See,
right.
I gotta drop her name on there, right?
There you go. All right, still to come on Game Changers. We're gonna see what's trending and trending roulette. A lot of fun happening at the U.S. Open. We'll be back.
I've been watching some tennis.
Welcome back to Game Changers. Time for what's trending. And you know what, Goldie? I know you're a big tennis guy. American tennis on the up and up. I got to ask, we were watching the U.S. Open, see all these names, Coco Gauff, Fritz, I mean, he's out. But is American tennis back? U.S. tennis back?
Well, first off, a big Gator chomp. There he is right there. Ben Shelton, man. His dad was coaching. This guy is so calm, so cool. The moment is not too big, and he just loves playing tennis. He has been phenomenal to watch. He's going to turn a lot of people on to tennis with his personality and the fact that he's so young. And then you have all these other Americans. Frances Tiafoe is right in there on the women's side, Madison Keys, and Coco from here in South Florida, from Delray Beach. Yeah. She's been on the come for a few years. I think it's amazing, and I do think, Mike, that to answer your question, it will turn a lot of people now onto tennis because now you're going to get some of these rivalries. These guys can compete with Novak Djokovic and Daniil Medvedev and some of the best players that aren't American. And Coco's just, I mean, the way she handles herself, her dad was coaching. They kind of, no other way to say it, they kind of kicked him out of the coaching box. He watches up in the suites now. It's just been a lot of fun.
Look, I like what's going on in tennis. They're kind of getting the old guard is kind of going out. All those guys, and you're seeing all these young players, coming up, and I think it's great getting an infusion of youth in the upper levels, in the top 10, and seeing all these guys, and you kind of look at these matches, and they're still kind of in the young stage where even if they're like ranked number 3, 25, 10. They can get beat by someone that's ranked 25 because they're not quite as seasoned as some of those other guys used to be. Now, you had Djokovic still playing out there at that kind of level. But these younger guys, I think it makes the game a little more volatile. And to me, a little more. I've watched more tennis in the last couple of weeks than I have in a long time because I'm enjoying the new personalities and the other, and they play the game a different way.
It's a little more parity. The Federer's not there. The Nadals, the Djokovic's, they're getting old. They're going to retire.
Don't tell Joker that he'll yell at you.
He can hang on as long as he wants. I enjoy watching him play. I know he's kind of a polarizing.
Yeah, do you like him or not? Because I like rooting against him personally.
I like him.
Okay.
I do. I think I like the personality on the court. I like seeing that because that draw. We talked about Jazz Chisholm earlier. That draws me to the match. Yeah. It draws me to the baseball game. Seeing some personality.
One thing we do kind of need though is a villain. You got to have someone. Half the people like, half the people don't like.
Tennis fans will turn on someone like that.
Like wrestling.
Evidently, the villain there is all the people who are smoking weed up in the stands in the tournament. The tennis players are getting a little buzz while they're down there.
So we found that shirt.
Oh!
Swear to God.
Mike Cunha on cue. Wow.
We're going to wrap it up on that note.
Impressive.
Thank you guys for joining us here on Game Changers. I'm probably going to get beat up as we make an exit here. We will see you next week. And hopefully we're talking about a Dolphins 1-0 start when, again, they take on the Chargers this Sunday out in LA at 4:25. Thanks for joining us.